Substance abuse, broken jaw, blown out back, torn ACL, drowning in Ibiza, Zac Efron has suffered so many injuries that it's almost a surprise he is still alive today. The hotshot celebrity stepped into the Hollywood scene as a teenage sweetheart, but to the surprise of many, he quickly transformed into a young man who thrived in extreme circumstances that often led to near-death situations. So what are the near-death experiences he survived, and why the drive to be involved in the extreme? Let's take a look through the details. Zac Efron knew from an early age that he had a passion for entertaining. He would entertain his peers through his clownish gestures and was crowned the class comedian. But after a while, he left the jokes and developed a penchant for singing. And with the support of his parents, he began taking lessons at the Great American Melodrama and the vaudeville theaters. In high school, his drama teacher identified his incredible acting skills, and knowing that he had so much potential, they recommended him to an agent in Los Angeles. With an agent already in place and the path to his stardom already paved, he decided to ditch college and attend Pacific Conservatory of the Performing Arts to sharpen his skills. He then got signed to the Creative Artists Agency and began looking out for roles. His acting career began in the early 2000s with guest roles on several television series like ER and The Guardian. Then he started gaining recognition when he was nominated for the Young Artist Award in 2004 for his performance as one of two autistic twins in the film Miracle Run. However, his real career breakthrough was when he played the lead role in the teen musical film High School Musical. His performance as Troy Bolton, a high school basketball player who had a conflicting love interest in a girl, Gabriella, played by Vanessa Hudgens from the Scholastic Decathlon team. This film was a huge success, and Efron became every teenage girl's crush and every teenage boy's role model. In 2007, when viewers were yet to get over his intriguing performance in High School Musical, he starred in the musical comedy film Hairspray. The film was such a huge success, and Efron's fame grew. That year through to 2009, he starred in the rest of the High School Musical franchise and 17 Again. They were all also commercial successes, and Efron couldn't be more famous. Following his success as a teen actor, Efron decided to wear the big boy boots and take more adult roles. However, his initial attempt to transform into these roles was met with mixed reviews from critics. They felt he was still too much of a Disney pretty boy to perform the roles accurately. However, in 2014, his performance in the adult comedy Neighbors reflected all the hard work he had put into transforming. The film was a major commercial success, and critics couldn't help but sing his praises. Unfortunately, the path to that success was dark and ugly, and this truth didn't come to light until right before Neighbors was released. During his time acting as Troy Bolton in High School Musical, Efron enjoyed the fame every actor craves. However, his fame came with a huge workload. He was always on a film set, lost touch with friends, and rarely had time for his family. He was constantly burnt out. Then there was the need to be perfect because he was under constant scrutiny. Every move he made was analyzed and related to his performance. It was a lot for young Efron to handle, and he fell into a dark place. I was drinking a lot. Way too much. It's never one specific thing. I mean, you're in your 20s, single, going through life in Hollywood, you know? Everything is thrown at you. Efron described his struggles. He continued, when you have success young and you accept the good things, you have to accept all of it. You have to accept the moments of glory, but also a great responsibility. And that responsibility to some degree involves being a role model. At the same time, I'm a human being and I've made a lot of mistakes. Efron tried to get rid of his pain and the incessant voice in his head through alcohol and other intoxicating substances. It only made things worse, and to get his life back together, he had to enter rehab in 2013. Unfortunately, getting out of rehab and trying to stay sober was not an easy feat. So he had to find something healthy to keep him distracted. That was when he began his fitness journey, swimming 20 laps a day, using weights and a rowing machine, and drinking from a specially installed alkaline faucet. He also had to join Alcoholics Anonymous and constantly see a therapist. But all of his hard work to stay sober almost became fruitless when he was involved in a crazy accident right after he got out of rehab. Efron shattered his jaw after he slipped while running through his house in socks. When he fell, his chin hit the granite corner of a fountain so hard he lost consciousness. When he woke up, his shin bone was hanging out. The injury was so severe that his chin had to be wired shut, and he had to get physical therapy for his facial muscles. In later years, he had to have another procedure on his jaw when he took a break from his physical therapy while he was in Australia filming. His facial muscles became so huge because they were working even harder to compensate for the other injured muscles in his face. And for this reason, he needed another procedure. Also around that period, he shattered his jaw, blew out his back, tore his ACL, and suffered from wrist injuries due to his attempt to maintain his new physique. These injuries resulted in him taking a lot of painkillers, and it's a surprise that he didn't slide back into that dark hole and end back in rehab. In March of 2014, Efron was in another unfortunate situation when he got into a fight with a homeless man. Although some tabloids insinuated that Efron's anger might have been stimulated by alcohol, the Neighbors actor revealed what really happened. He explained that a friend had come to pick him up so that they could have dinner at a place downtown, but they had trouble finding a place to eat because a lot of the places were closed. Unfortunately, they ran out of gas during their quest and had to pull over to wait for an Uber. While waiting, a homeless guy tapped on the driver's side window. Before I knew it, he, the friend, was out of the car and they started fighting. I saw that the homeless man was carrying some sort of knife or shank, and I got out of the car to disarm him. At some point, I dropped the knife and I got hit pretty hard in the face, and almost immediately the police were there to break up the fight. Things could have gotten out of hand at that moment, and luckily it didn't. But in 2017, he wasn't so lucky with his battles. In 2017, Efron was cast as an Olympic swimmer in the movie Baywatch. Although he already had a remarkable physique, he had to put in more work. He had to train so hard, eating the same 3 meals every day and taking powerful diuretics, properly known as water pills, to help prevent the body from taking in so much salt. However, this strict regime not only got him ripped, but also had a major toll on his mental health. He developed insomnia from the constant training and filming and was seriously depressed for a long time. Efron said, "Something about that experience burned me out. I had a really hard time recentering. Ultimately, they chalked it up to taking way too many diuretics for way too long, and it messed something up." In an interview he held much later, he revealed that he didn't completely get out of the gloomy state until 2022, almost 6 years later. We could blame the producers of Baywatch for his mental health battles of that year, but Efron just couldn't stay away from trouble, and in 2019 he found himself in another near-death situation. In 2019, the Hollywood star revealed details about his new show, Killing Zac Efron, where he would spend 21 days off the grid with nothing but basic gear, a guiding partner, and a will to survive. When the details about the show was announced, many fans were skeptical and didn't understand why Efron had to put himself through such discomfort, but his response was, "I thrive under extreme circumstances and seek out opportunities that challenge me on every level. I am excited to explore any uncharted territory and discover what unexpected adventure awaits." And he got what he went searching for, because a few weeks into filming his show, he was airlifted to Brisbane, Australia, and rushed to St. Andrew's War Memorial Hospital after he contracted what is believed to be typhoid fever in Papua New Guinea. The illness was so severe he had to get immediate treatment. Luckily enough, he recuperated quickly, but to everyone's surprise, he went back to filming as if he had not almost just lost his life. The near-death experiences already mentioned are enough to have anyone living a cautious life, but not for Zac, because in 2024, he was on the news again for almost dying. In the early morning of August 3rd, 2024, Efron had gone swimming with his friends. According to reports, he had dived deep into the pool, probably to showcase the skills he had learned while training for Baywatch, and that water filled up his lungs. His friends saw him struggling and quickly pulled him out of the pool. Any minute longer, and he would have drowned to death. He was reportedly taken to the hospital to ensure that there was no complications because he had been momentarily dazed. An x-ray was reported carrying out to ensure the water had moved from his lungs. When the image confirmed this, they had him stay in the hospital for a little while before he was discharged. Trying to make light of what happened, Efron posted a picture of himself lying on an exercise ball and working out on his Instagram story. Now, hopefully he never finds himself in a situation he can't back bounce from, but I want to know what you think. Why does Zac Efron continue to put his life on the line? Could he still be struggling with his mental health issues? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And if you liked this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.